All right. How's everybody doing? Getting a little late start. I had a long morning. That's all I'm going to say. I had a long morning. It's not a bad morning. Not a bad morning. Just had to deal with stuff. All right. What are we doing today? Okay, we have a couple things. We have a couple things to do. I need to. I'm going to update the title. So we're going. One thing that we need to do is we need to work. One thing I need to do is I need to open up Twitch chat. Why don't I ever think about opening that up before I start streaming? All right. There we go. Twitch chat engaged. All right. So I want to go over, especially if some Rust people get on, I want to go over my threading episode. What I'm going to say is threading light episode. So we need to do that. We need to walk over it, walk over the code, and what we're going to do. That really shouldn't be too bad. Should be pretty quick. I think it should be a simple episode, because really what I want it to be is like, hey, if you need to do something with Tokyo, like something simple, with an await, you can do it, because a lot of libraries that you use will need you to await on something. So you need to know how to await on something with like something like Tokyo. So that's all I want to get. That's not real threading. I mean, it is real threading. It is not understanding threading at its core at Rust. It's just, how could I use a library that makes me await something? So I want to go over that and make sure that I'm covering enough stuff. Again, I want to keep it short. We'll do an in-depth deep dive on threading eventually. Okay. So we have that. I want to maybe start working on. We can do some general improvements to Twitch alerts. I have some things that we could do to work on Twitch alerts, especially with its local database. We can make some updates to like configuration. We don't really have a good way of configuring it. I think that configuration probably should be stored in a database, so we can do that. And then the last thing that we can do is we can start working on some Eddington stuff in Go. So I think we'll start with Rust. Can you guys hear that? You have to let me know. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So I think we're good. But let me know if we are. Okay. I think you're fine, Mari. All right, so we'll do Rust. Threading. then I don't know how to make good titles. I don't know. Okay. So I think that's the plan. Unless if there's something you guys would like to do more. Meadow Jade 55. Wait. Med Ojade. Wait. There's probably a better way to read that. What's up? How are you doing? We're just about to get into some Rust. So what I was talking about was the plan for today. I think we are going to hit some Rust first, and then I have another one of my tutorials coming up. So if there's people in the Rust community, and then we were going to hit Eddington with the Go server. So Rust first, then we'll slide into some easier stuff after Rust. We also have our Twitch alerts that I was thinking about maybe doing some minor updates to. So basically a little bit of Rust and a little bit of Go. But you're a Python guy? Okay. So I'm not a Python guy, but I will show you a bit of Python I made just since you're here. I do a little bit of Python because I do some machine learning too. I dabble with machine learning. Let's be clear. There is no machine learning on the docket. I'm not prepared to do any machine learning live today, but maybe we can do some in the future if you're sticking around. Actually, if it's working, check this out. So we have this Twitch alerts, and this actually uses machine learning to generate a custom follow message for people for the Twitch alerts. So I run my own Twitch alerts, and you get a custom follow message. So the program, the application is written in Rust, but this just uses a large language model. Oh, well, thank you so much for the follow. There you can see, it looks terrible. It's right up. Oh, I mean, that's actually funny. It's in my little box here, but it's also on the big screen there. In a Forgotten Realm, Meadow Jade 55, a masterful rogue, sought allies in his quest against tyrants. Across treacherous lands, he came upon the Null Party. 6 warriors. There's more than 6 of us, okay? That's hurtful. Anyway, so our Twitch alerts, you get a custom follow message. It's custom to you, and it's stored in a database. So the hope is, I don't have this set up yet, but the hope is you'll be able to go to the website and see all the followers, and whatnot. Shadow Dragon. Wait, Shadow Dragon. Is that the Shadow Dragon that's on YouTube? Because I have a Shadow Dragon. It's nice to see you. In the realm of Soria, the lone rogue Shadow Dragon, or Discord, you're on Discord, found herself a dangerous quest. Caught in the clutches of a fearsome dragon, she stumbled upon the hidden fortress of the Null Part. I have a fortress now, too. This is amazing. We might need to whisper a little bit to this. I did a D&D variant. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We're having fun, and that's what the goal is. You are a guy, though. Well, it's nice to see you on stream, Shadow Dragon. Sorry about the AI doesn't get a whole lot. So it's actually interesting that it came up with that. Let's see. We can look at it really quickly. We can look at with what it's prompted with. Yeah, Shadow Dragon. I think you should have a retrospective on this. This AI knows you better than you think you know yourself. I didn't mean for this to be an issue. It's completely AI generated. It's not meant to be an issue. It's meant to be fun. Tell me an epic story about how Shadow Dragons supported the party. So it's supposed to be like you coming in and helping. And the teller prompt is, tell me an epic story about how your username party joined forces. Oh, this is for a raid event. So if somebody raids me. And this is like the direction message that the AI is getting is, you are D&D GPT. When answering any questions, you always answer with a short epic story as a Dungeons and Dragons master in 65 words or less. That's the goal. It's meant to be fun. So hopefully you're having fun with it. So. All right. Thank you. Oh, wait. Alien ICE. I'm gonna have to fix my Twitch alerts so they don't show up in the little box with me here. Like, it's meant so that when I'm full screen, you see it. In the mystical realms of Ilian, a cunning rogue once roamed around seeking her path. It's stuck on she right now, so I'm sorry if you're not. We're gonna have to work on that. I didn't think about that. I don't know why it's stuck on she now. That's interesting because it's never said she before. It's always said he. And I think most of my followers have been he's before now. So I don't know. We'll have to work on that. Maybe we can tell it to just use their name. This AI currently very much likes girls. So we know what their preference is right now. This AI's preference. So we'll have to work on that. I hadn't thought about that. I think what I'll do is just try to prompt it to just use names. That way it will be more clear anyways. This is going to be a very long prompt. Actually, I've been wanting to custom train it, and maybe that's part of the custom training that we can do. You know, obviously custom training, it will bias it, but I think like that's the purpose of custom training. It is, you're going to bias it to your audience, your crowd. And so we can like custom train it to just use names, proper names. Well, also, as everybody knows that it is an AI writing you a custom message, hopefully it's not offensive. It's just taking your name and making an epic story. You'll obviously go down. We obviously have you in a database as a she at this point. We can do we can check it out. Yeah, yep. See, and these are stored in a database. We can we can go pull them up. It's great. Ah, good stuff. The things you don't think about when you make like a user interface, and then you're like, oh, it's just making it. It's just making stuff up, and so what it makes up, a little bit at its mercy. Okay, so. Okay, you work with a machine. That's really cool. So the other thing that I tried to do, and this kind of failed, but I want to try again. And what I need to do is I need to do some learning. So I was stepping through scikit learn. I was stepping through this. I think that they have like a ton of really awesome ones. So I was going through their audio because what I kind of wanted to do was make something that would put markers on my videos for like some content for YouTube. So like if I did something here, it would be able to like slice that video up. And so I could have like vocal cues for training. So anyways, my initial attempts at it were pretty disastrous. So I kind of put that on hold. By disastrous, I mean it just didn't work at all. So I've done some of the simple stuff. It was just putting it more together, which was a little bit more difficult. Um, so anyways, I might do this in the near future again. Give it a shot again. Especially if you're going to join. I really like scikit-learn. I really I use PyTorch a lot, but like as far as scikit-learn goes, I have really enjoyed their lessons and like understanding. I think they did a really good job in like just this area where it's like, oh, you want to do image classification? Here's some stuff on classification. Recognizing handwriting. You can go through here and see this. It's cool. I think they did a good job. And like even breaking down the math to be a little less, not everybody has. I don't even know why this is sitting within reach, not prepared. Advanced linear algebra sitting around. Not prepared at all for that. That was sitting there for a different reason from yesterday. not prepared to just pull out a book on advanced linear algebra at a moment's notice. Usually it's in the shelf back there, so you might have to go through math again. So machine learning, is really, really awesome math. I mean, if you go to it, neural networks. I need to do a video on neural networks because I think a lot of people have a lot of questions. And I don't think a lot of people know what GPT stands for either. We need to go over that. I need to make some videos on that. Anyhow, let's talk about threading in Rust. But it's not real threading because I don't want to go about pinning memory. This is at the very tail end of my introduction to Rust class, and I wanted to give people a way to use libraries that have async and await support. So basically, this is like a very basic. There are threading things, and I want them to be able to use them. So our web framework is a perfect example. I don't want them to have to use block on. I want them to be able to do it with await because that's how everybody supports it, and it's pretty easy to use a library with await. So I want to enable them to do that. I don't want to go into, hey, this is how you pin memory. This is how you make a future. I don't want to, because one, I failed it the last time I tried to make a future, because memory pinning is hard. I understand it. I just failed at it. I need to learn that a little bit better before I actually make a lesson on it. Togglebit, thank you so much for your sub. Thank you for your gifted sub. How are you doing? Let's I don't even know how to do this. Also, I'm a little upset because it's never been tested, but we're testing it live. You were supposed to get a custom message from our AI, but we didn't. What went on? What happened? We got something here. It got it, but it didn't do anything with it. It didn't make you a custom we have a bug. We got to fix this bug. Then we'll get into the custom Rust the threading lesson. I'm doing well. So what we're doing, we're going to fix this problem because you deserve a custom message and you didn't get a custom message. And that's my bad. I've let the community down. It works for follows. We've had new followers today. They got custom messages and you are a legend. Thank you for that. And you're supposed to have a legendary message. Let's see. So we have raid events here and we have the handle subscribe. And so this is where you're supposed to tell me an epic story about how Togglebit supported the party. I'll make you up one, one just for you. And so this is the follow one. So this didn't happen. This handle subscribe event did not happen. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. Let's go and walk through everything that was supposed to happen. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to look into this problem. Then we're going to jump back to, I have a little Rust class that I've done for people completely new to Rust. And we're going to work on the threading episode. So the threading episode, I was trying to cast it in a light that this is a threading episode where we're not looking at understanding how to write a future or to pin memory or something like that. We're looking to be able to support or to use libraries that have async and await. So that's the goal, is that somebody could use a library and await on something and understand, what a future is, but not necessarily how to create one or how to even use system threads, like the main threads. That's not the goal. That's like a goal of like an advanced deep dive that I want to do later. The goal is how to use an async and await. But let's look at why you didn't get a legendary message. Let's try to figure that out. All right, so we have our messages, and we should have this, which should have like the different types that we currently support, which is a follow, subscribe. So I kind of want to just see where all this is used. See, we should have handled the subscribe event. So if we're generating this, if we're generating the channel subscribe from the Twitch events, then we should have gotten it to the front end. That's not good. I wanted to go here. So this is the, let's actually open this up. This is where we're going to generate that event. I don't have an event. I need to be able to replay events. Now we can set this up in debug mode. So what we can do is Twitch actually has a CLI that we can use, and basically it puts out the Twitch server. So if we can't figure out something dumb really quickly, we'll do that. We'll run this in debug mode locally. And so what that does is it allows you to just make any message that you'd like. Actually, though, it would be good to replay messages, though. So if you miss one, so I need a couple things. First is the ability to replay. And then what I'd like to be able to do is pause, but I don't want to lose the paused messages. What I'd like to be able to do is pause, because let's say I'm making something for YouTube and I don't want them on there. I want to pause it and then play them later. So I do need that cue. You're adding that to the second implementation of your Twitch API? Yeah, that's something that I need to do. Wait, which Twitch API do you write? Because, okay. Let's, I don't know how to do this. If people don't know, Togglebit is a fantastic streamer. Very entertaining. Also knowledgeable in all areas Rust, and he loves Java as well. Rust and Java. So please ask him your Java and JavaScript questions. Any Java language, he loves. So right. So go check out his stream. It's fantastic. Don't troll him too much. he programs in Rust. But yeah, if you like that type of content, or see with training wheels, fantastic. He streams early in the morning. I don't always get to catch him, but I try to. All right. So let's see. So we return this Twitch event, and we are returning the Twitch event. So I'm guessing that this happened to be. Oh, you hand rolled a Twitch? Oh man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You're also making your own TUI, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, I am not doing that. I'm going to use somebody else's TUI. What I want to do is I also want to make a TUI UI for this. So if somebody wants to run it and have it in their, like I'd like to whenever I'm like doing the news and stuff, and I'd like to have it on the side. So I'm going to have a TUI UI for it as well. But I'm not going to roll my own TUI. I don't have the time for that. All right. So the only other place, and then other than that, we're going to have to start debugging, is in the AI manager. So here we have a new event, and then on that we're just matching on the event type, and we have the channel subscribe. We handle it. Do we screw this up? I didn't see this at all in our logs. It didn't generate. So this is the response. See, in the response, you get in the mythical realm of Illyria, a cunning rogue once roamed alone, seeking her path. She stumbled upon the Null City, where outsiders. That is what it's supposed to generate, but I don't see a response at all. You know what? This could be because it was a gifted sub. So looking through here, man, this is a little bit rough to read. Let's put this in a JSON printer, pretty printer, because this is a little bit rough to read. Message type is notification. Oh, but type is channel subscribe. Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm wondering, is if there's a gift event. So it's weird because if you look at the Twitch API over here, let's jump over here. If you look here at this, let's look at the Twitch API. Check this out. All right, let's check this out. Ah, this right here. Togglebit, you found a new event that I need to support. So this is actually a little confusing to me, because the reason I say it's a little confusing is if you look at a subscribe event, if you look at the channel subscribe payload, this is like the payload, it has, is it a gift? Why would you have, if the subscription is a gift? But I guess this makes sense because this doesn't have who gifted it. And that's really the legend. What I think we need to do, and I think that this is good that it's different, is the person who gifted a subscribe needs to like come in and save, because we're doing the whole D&D theme. So they need to like come in and save somebody from the Null Party. That is what, yeah, let's look for, I'm sure that there's a channel gift. Let's just look for gift. This is not gonna work this way. What we'll do is, we'll look here. We got raids. All right. We'll just kind of add it in here. When I did this again years ago, there were lots of stuff missing from the docs as well, and certain values marked as optional were not optional. So you really have to make sure you cover all bases here. Yeah, well, Togglebit, I am sincerely sorry that you did not get your custom message like you were supposed to. That being said, as soon as I get this fixed, we will regenerate it and insert it into the database. That we'll work on replayability as well. So let's see. We'll just insert this in here really quickly. Event. That's not. I don't support everything off the bat. Channel gift. Subscription gift V1. That's what it is. All right. And what I need to do is parse out the information from it. This API, I've actually found the people that make this, I don't know if this is the right way to do it, an API in Rust. I don't know. I need to, because sometimes it can be very difficult to find out like this. Okay, so, interesting. This is just a broadcaster user ID. I don't think that this is full. The broadcaster user ID for the channel you want to get gift notification. Oh, this is like signing up for notification. Sorry, this is not what I wanted. I want the payload. So let's go see here if they have a payload. Here we go. Okay. So this is the payload for it. Awesome. This is where I was saying this API is somewhat a little bit confusing to me sometimes, but I got it. I just have to get into it again. So this makes sense. So this would be me, the broadcaster. Then the username, my username. Okay, this is just all me. Super narcissistic here. I need 3 columns for me. All right. The number of gifts, I guess. The number of subscriptions gifted. Whether the subscription gift was anonymous. We'll have to do something if it's anonymous. We'll have to do something like a Zorro figure or something. Maybe we should come up with a name. Zorro or Batman or something figure. Is anonymous, tier total. All right, let's get this supported today. Let's make sure this doesn't happen again. All right. Let's jump back into that. We're going to, oh no, where were we? Gift, payload. Here we go. Channel payload. We're going to just copy and paste all these fields because we want them all. Okay. I don't know why. Let's just go back here. So all we need to do is basically just tidy this up by deleting a bunch of stuff. I didn't mean to delete the comma. Okay, I can do, maybe I can do this a little bit faster. Let's see, I think I can just do this. No, I can't. That's okay, never mind. We'll get there. Oh, I am just hitting all types of wrong buttons. So for those of you watching that do AI, and I want to train my own AI, that's the goal here. Which project should I use? I was thinking about using Llama. That's like one of the open source. I was obviously looking to do like an open source. There's a couple of them out there. I needed something that was going to be small that I could run locally, like train locally too. I have a pretty nice GPU, but I don't have like a 39 or a 4090 or anything like that. So I have a 4070, which is pretty fantastic, but it's a little bit constrained on memory. I think it has what, 12 gigs. It's a little bit small. What would be your recommendations? I'm trying to think. Meadowjard. That's right. That's who I'm talking to. All right. What would be your recommendation? I don't even know how to pronounce this. I almost did. I have not seen this one. I'm going to search it. I don't know. I'm going to search it over here. 1 second. Oh, be back in a bit. That's what that means. Definitely not 35. I don't know text shorthand. I actually never did it as a, even when I was in college and texted a lot. Never did text shorthand. So you use it on me, you're bound to get me to not know what you're talking about. All right, let's do this. Let's delete that. There we go. And then, no, I did not want that. There we go. And then we can do, I believe we do 2 of those. I think I maybe screwed up. I think I've screwed one of these up. Let's just return the new message. Oh, we actually have to add the message. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll make a message. Should I make another file? Probably. Are we going? Oh. I didn't copy and paste it, did I? And I can't F12 here because I can F12 here. Can F12 there. Then I can find payload. We'll get in a second. We're just going to make this struct really quickly. We're going to make this struct really quickly. Pub struct. So we consume the Twitch API message and we make our own messages. We did this for a couple reasons. We talked about it. It's probably the wrong move, but it felt right at the time. Actually, it's probably the right move. It just feels wrong sometimes. New channel gift message. So this is a string. The broadcaster, this is also a string. Hey, Togglebit, while I have you on there, there's something I don't understand. There's a lot of things that I don't understand. But let's jump back over here and I can show you one of the things that I don't understand. And I would love to see your insight. So there's these things here, and if you look at this type, this is a braid type, which I don't understand the usefulness of braid. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not useful. I'm saying I don't understand it. Because it just makes these things strings, but it's like, hey, makes your API have custom types, but all the custom types I just convert to strings. So I'm probably using it wrong. The API just returns braid types, so I just have to consume them. And so maybe I'm consuming them wrong. Yeah, so I just don't get this. I don't get what this manual braid is doing for me, other than obfuscating what it actually is. So, there you go. So I just translate them to strings. It's easy. Like I said, I'm probably doing something wrong. Let's see. The number of subscriptions gifted by this user in the channel, this value is null for anonymous gifts or if the gifter has opted out of sharing this information. Okay, that's why it's an optional. Cool. Whether the subscription gift was anonymous. Okay. The tier of subscription. Okay, so this is just a I ate your lunch. The number of subscriptions in the subscription gift, the user ID of the user who sent the subscription. Okay, again. These are all strings. We can look at the Rust braid. Improve and strengthen your strings. Strongly type APIs reduce errors and confusion over passing around untyped strings. Braid helps in that endeavor by making it painless to create wrappers around your string values, ensuring that you use them. So I don't understand. If my string is typed, how is a braid? I guess it means that you can't mix and match. Okay, so I guess maybe that's what it's doing. Like a user ID string is different than a user login string. I guess maybe that's what it is. Is that what it's doing? Maybe that's what it's doing. Now that I've rubber ducked it with you. Maybe that's what it's doing, where it's like those two things aren't the same. Okay. Now we have this type. We should be able to use it here. So what did I call this type? I called this type channel gift message. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to actually add it as a event type. Channel sub gift. There we go. Debug. I gotta implement debug. Oh, you know what we need to do? Maybe next week. I think I said maybe next week a couple of weeks now. I need to do I want to stop using code and I want to just use Vim. I want to try to use NeoVim purely. I want to do that for a couple of weeks because I think I would be faster if I actually just took the time to learn it. And I do like not using the mouse if I can avoid it. So yeah. Okay, that makes that happy. All right, so we just need to do this. So we did this. Okay, so let's count our braces. We have this brace, and we have this brace. Wait, we don't need this, do we? We consumed everything in that. Is there other stuff in this? No. Oh, what about in this? No, there's not. So I think we can just go with this, right? And then we'll do our stuff in here. Okay. Yeah, I was doing way too many. Way too many. All right. We're good. We got it. Now we just need to return our okay, wrapping our we just need to return okay. Wrapping our Twitch event. channel, not channel subscribe, channel gift, sub gift. There we go. That's what we named it. And we named, no, oh man, I thought I copied and pasted it. I forget the names. I don't know why when I stream, I cannot remember the channel gift message. There we go. Channel gift message. Okay, so we have our channel gift message that we're going to create. You know, we can probably do this API a little bit better in the future because we actually are copying a decent amount, and we could probably avoid doing that if we actually wanted to. Why are you expected semicolon? Why would you expect a semicolon? You don't expect a semicolon. Oh, wait. This is the channel's gift message. This is the channel sub gift. This is the okay. Okay, they expect nothing here. No comma or anything because this is what we're returning. Whew. Didn't expect a semicolon. Please, Rust. Okay. Let's see. We want, we're just actually parsing all of this back in. This is what we're going to do. This is dirty. This is dirty. For all of those watching, I do actually know how to use Vim. I don't know how to use Vim quickly. I think that's something that just takes time of actually doing it. But I feel like stuff like this would be much faster in Vim than any way that I know how to do it in not Vim. And I realize it has an upfront learning. I love Visual Studio Code, especially because, you know, for me, I came from Windows when I first got into Linux and open source. And so Visual Studio Code was a great gateway because I gave up Visual Studio. I wrote C++ in Visual Studio, and I gave up Visual Studio, which was rough when I first. And so Visual Studio Code was like a great gateway drug to like, oh, I can do Linux and I can, you know, have a pretty nice thing. And obviously I learned Vim over time, but I don't know all of the commands and I'm pretty slow at it comparatively. Okay, so now all we have to do, this is what, okay, if people ask me why I love Rust so much, look at this. This is red. And why this lib is red up here is because the AI manager says we don't cover all the cases anymore because we have an enum and I can tell you what the error is going to be. Like right here, it's not exhaustive because I don't do a catch-all because I don't want it to be a catch-all because I want to make sure that I cover every case. It's fantastic. I know other languages do this, but I think a really good distinction is that the borrow checker, that Rust isn't it doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with memory. You still have to deal with memory. But Rust just makes sure that your memory management is correct because you have to deal with the borrow checker. So Rust is going to enforce that your borrowing is correct. It doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with it because I think people misunderstand that. It just means that it's going to be correct. And I love that. It means that big refactors are somewhat safe. It means that, yeah, anyways, it means a lot of stuff. It's pretty awesome. You guys know that. I know I harp about it. We'll talk about Python because I know that there's a new person that just loves Python, and I suck at Python. You've all seen that. What are we going to do? We are, you know what? We're going to copy and paste this. Handle rate event. But we need to do some updates. It's not just going to be a new... You know what? We need to generalize this function. We need to generalize this function because we have this same function in a lot of times. A really good senior engineer, which I am not, would point that out the second time. This is the third time we've copied it. But generally, if you see that, you can extract some of this. So let's do that. And I'm sorry I'm being so didactic this morning. Okay, so let's see. We're going to... Let's look at the common things. We're asking it to tell us a story. That story changes depending on what it is. So we can just inject... We can inject this part, the story part that we're asking. The other thing is that it changes what database we save it to. So we have a new rate event database table. We have a new story segment table that are all a little bit different. So we can extract the database part out into its own section. We can do this into its own section. And this is just printing the message. This is mostly for debugging when things go wrong at this point. Because this just puts it in the log. Okay. Man, this is poorly written. I'm trying to think of how I would rewrite this, and we need to extract the database. We already did like the direct database thing, so this is like the direct actual thing. So like these are already kind of extracted out. So you can see here, this is, we're just calling a function that we can await. So that's kind of good. So then my problem, and this is printing the response. Extracting this into a function, is this actually useful? I'm not sure that it is. I think we just go with how it is right now. Because how it is simple. We could maybe do this a little bit nicer. The display message, make a little function around that. Let's copy and paste this and talk about each line as we do it. It feels like I should be able to compress this because they're doing a lot of the similar stuff, but it's like they're already in their own functions at this point. So this is the conversation piece. This is the thing that we're talking about. We could inject that in at this new event happening. Really, that could be part of our message, honestly. We have to think about how we want to do configuration, where that configuration comes from. And honestly, the AI manager shouldn't have... Maybe it should have that configuration. That's probably another talk. Does this message, the thing that we prompt the AI with, come from the message that we send to the AI manager? Or does the AI manager generate it? That's what it's doing right now. I don't know. So this is handle, not a rate event anymore. This is going to be handle gift sub event. All right, well, let's think about that because we do need to do configuration. We basically don't have configuration. We have hard-coded strings as configuration. This should be configurable. So if somebody else, as this is an open source project, if somebody else wanted to use this, they would want to update their own, and they don't actually want to come into the code to update it. They want to configure it. Like that's just, configuration is an issue with this app right now. And that configuration would clean some of this up, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, tell an epic story about how this, it's not really a party, this person gifted new powers to this person who is now part of the null party. I think that's like a good starting point. We can test this out, see what type of results that gives us. Oh, except this raid event, or not raid event. Let's rename this. GIF sub event. Let's see. It doesn't have who it was. It just has how many people. And really, we got to do some logic to whether it's anonymous or whatnot. I think this is where the message that gets passed to the AI manager should actually drive all of this. Because the AI manager shouldn't necessarily care if it's anonymous or not. I mean, right now it will, because it's just simpler that way. And my plan wasn't to do all of this. Thank you, Togglebit, for giving me things to support, finding more things. So we have their user ID. Maybe we have their user ID. So, how do we want to do this? We could... what could we do here? All right, so I guess we basically need to know if they're anonymous, and then gifted new powers to this number, like 12 null party members. So we'll tell me an epic story about how Togglebit. We don't need Togglebit person. Gifted new powers to 12 null party members. That's how many you need to gift next. I'm just teasing. Okay, so I think that is worded fine. But the name might not be Togglebit. We need to come up with... So what we'll do for right now, let mute use gifter gifter name gifter name equals do we do a specific character that comes in and anonymously gifts? I feel like that would be fun. Or we could just write anonymous so that it was clear that it was an anonymous. You know what? Right now we're just going to say anonymous. And then, I don't know how to spell is anonymous. Google really doesn't know that I think that I know how to define anything. Like I don't know the meaning of anything. I type define because then if you mistype it, it doesn't give you something weird and strange. It knows that you want to define a word. It's a good tip if you're prone to misspelling stuff. All right. So if this is gift subevent dot username, not the best way to do this, but you know what? It's going to suffice for now. All right, we don't have a raid event anymore. We have a gift subevent. Now we don't have this. So tell me that this is the actual. Oh wait, this is the username, and then this is the number. So we have gift subevent dot total. All right, so interesting thing here. There's actually a lot we can do here. A lot of mutating that we can do here, because we can also do something for different tiers of subscriptions. I don't think we need to worry about that right now. But we can do like different tiers as well, where like we could do like legendary. You know what? That wouldn't actually be too hard. All right, we have to do tiers. We'll do tiers because it's not too hard. And I would be remiss, not that I expect anybody to. I don't expect anybody to, but I would be remiss if somebody gifted a tier 2 and didn't get something a little bit more special than what Togglebit got, which was nothing, which means I guess anything you should be more happy than what Togglebit got. He's a legendary streamer, not a scrub streamer like me. He has a really nice setup. I like it. It's like all in this terminal where his video is here, but it's like in the terminal window. It's a kind of nice setup. I like it. It's clean. All right, so gifted new X power. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert something here, legendary, whatnot. So that means we have a new thing here, which means we got to get this new thing, which we'll parse here. What are the words that we're going to use? I can only think of legendary. Well, let's see. Item, game item, levels. Item level makes less interesting game design. I mean, I only have legendary equipment, so like, you know what? Or empowers. I don't want like a level, like I just want a word. Yeah, this is talking about levels. I'm not wanting level item, game item tiers. Tiers is what I'm going to do. Tier list. Tiers. I'm searching for words. So basically, Togglebit was an absolute legend, gifted me a sub. What I didn't realize is my Twitch alerts are working, but I don't handle the gift sub event because it's a different event. So, that being said, he didn't get a custom message and I felt really bad, so we're adding it right now. Now, what happens is we're crafting this message to the AI. And what happens is basically he could gift a tier 2. And what I wanted to do was tell me an epic story about how blank gifted new. And so this is going to be the tier. There should be 3 tier, like scrub powers to the null party for tier 1, something powers to the null party members for tier 2, and then for tier 3 would be legendary. That's what I've gotten. But I don't know what they. I can only think of legendary right now. What do you mean, oh, not as nice? Oh, you mean that I dropped the ball on rewarding Togglebit? Yeah, I feel terrible. I feel terrible. You don't like the idea of basing the tiers on this, or is that what you're saying? Is that like you don't like the wording of it? Because I just came up with the wording on the fly. Oh, they can do length as well. That's not in here. That's not in here. The number of subscriptions gifted. Okay. So if they gifted 12, I think maybe this is what you're talking about. I already cover that because that would be this the number. Oh yeah, I didn't miss it. I saw it and I called it out and I told him that it was a legend. He got an actual personal message. Um, but yeah, I do feel bad about not having this. So this is the number, the total. There's a way to okay, I don't see that coming through. Let me check the Twitch API. Because maybe the thing that wraps it is not getting that. Channels. No, I want the API. This is the Here's the payload. Here's the oh, okay. So here's the tier. Interesting. So what's the difference between total and communicative total? It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me what this information means. Let's consult. Let's consult this. Sometimes they have the number of subscriptions in the subscription gift. The number of subscription gifted by this user in the channel. Oh, so like this keeps track of how many they've done all together. Okay. Huh. Okay. So another thing that TotalBit recommended, which is a complete yes, and this is why I like event-based systems in the first place. We should have a way to replay messages. So really the only thing that I need to do is start capturing the raw Twitch message. I just need to capture that and dump it to a database, like just a log. That's all I need to do, and then we can replay those. Well, we could build a mechanism to replay those from the file. So I need to do that as well. It's a super useful thing. So let's see. Question. Wait. Oh, so it's a okay. So I guess my question is, if the total is more than one, and the user, so the total subscriptions is 12. Let's say the total subscriptions is 12, but I can't tell if this was just given to one person or not. could I figure this out? Or is there a different event for that? Is there a different that would make me sad. Let's look for gift. Channel subscription gift. I don't see a separate. So the other thing Togglebit said is that there's actually like hidden information, which maybe is why I need to capture the whole message that's given to me. Although I'm thinking my API, the project I use could actually chop it off. So I might not even get it all. Like I might not get the raw. The other thing though is that I do get I'll need new scopes. Oh no, I already have the subscription. I think the receivers also get a thing. But that's where you're right. You're dead right. Because they're going to get a subscription event and it will tell that it has more than 1 month on it. And it also says that it's a gift. I know this for a fact. Check it out. So this is handling a gift sub. If you go to the channel subscribe event here, actually all we need is the actual subscribe event. Is gift. So this will have the gift and you know what? It has the tier, the gift. It doesn't have the duration, but I bet you I'm chopping that off. Let's check it out. Channel raid, subscribe event. Doesn't look like it. Oh, here we go. Yeah. See this, the little 2 dots? It means I'm ignoring some information. It doesn't look like it though. It doesn't look like username, user login, user ID, tier is gift. Yeah, it doesn't look like it actually. Channel update, channel follow, channel subscribe. Okay, so gift tier. It doesn't have like a duration. So this would need to have a duration though. Yeah, it's an edge case. I hope people don't mind if maybe we move on and just finish this so that it's at least better, and I will have to look for it. What I wanted to support was this tier. Like if they give it a tier 2, I'd like it to be a little bit different. Just a little. Just a teensy bit better. So this is what I need: tier levels. What is a tier level? I can think of legendary. That's all I can think of. Oh, so epic, rare, epic, and this is what I was looking for. We could do like rare, epic, and legendary. Rare, epic, and legendary. Or are there some better words for that? Oh, we could do gemstones, like or metals, like gold, platinum. Would then void be the most legendary ones? Void powers. Rare, medium rare, and well done. Wait, did I misspell rare? Is that the wrong rare? No, that's the right rare. I was afraid. Stupid English. There's like 3 ways to spell it. Oh. All right. Match. You know what? I was going to do it this way. This is a bad way. Learn Rust better with me. I was going to do this. If we'll do it how I was going to do it, and then I'll show you a better way to do it in Rust, which is pretty awesome. If gift sub event dot tier equals 2000. Yes, these are hard coded, but not by me. Tier equals epic. Yeah, these don't need to be capitalized. And then if this is 3000, we'll just copy and paste this really quickly. 3000, it's going to be legendary. 2 things I don't like about it. It has a mutable, and we don't actually need a mutable here. So a better way to do this, in my personal opinion, would be to do it like this. And we're going to match the gift sub dot tier. I made that an I8, which is a mistake, because an I8, I ate my lunch. I don't think it's an I8 in the API. I can't believe that it is. I'm gonna just make it an I64. Well, it should actually complain because it's 1000, 2000, 3000, which an I32 should be plenty enough. But we just need to match whatever the whatever they're using. All right. Let's see. We're gonna match on this 1000. We'll do 1000 as the catch-all since we can't iterate over all of them. We'll do 2000. Epic. 3000. Legendary. And then I don't like the catch-all. I think we'll just do that. So, actually, I don't want that. I want There we go. And now we should be able to put tier in here. Boom. Nice. So now tell me an epic story about how TotalBit gifted new rare powers to one null party member. I think that's pretty cool. I think that should be a good start. It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. We need to put this in our squirrel database, though, where we put all of our nuts. My goodness, that... ruined the whole squirrel database for me. I just ruined it for myself. Okay. Let's look at our database. Great. We have to make a new migration. Sorry, I tried to keep this stream family friendly. All right, let's see. We'll do a new migration. We already did the command once. Let's see if it's still in our history. SQLX. It's not migrate run. Let me actually look what the command is, and then we'll search for it, like the actual command. Database migrate. Maybe it's in migrate. It's not run though. Migrate. Maybe it's like create. Build script. Generate a build RS. No. Help. Print this message. Info. Revert. Run. Oh, add. Okay. So let's see if SQLX migrate add. There we go. Added the gift sub database. Now we're not going to actually do that because we're in the wrong directory. All right. Cool. We're going to take this database statement. We're going to add our database script here. And then we should probably just copy and paste all the stuff that we're getting. So basically all this stuff plus the message that we generate. It almost feels like we shouldn't have a table for each different type of event. Especially in Squirrel, you don't get any benefit for that. There's no benefit in like there's no benefit in like locking. What we could do is more generic, like channel subscription event that has a payload, and it's just like a JSON payload. If I do that, it's not going to be a migration. It's just going to be delete everything. Not doing a migration for that. That's for sure. Maybe not delete everything. Maybe we manually make something to parse the stuff into JSON or something. Because right now this is a little silly, creating a table for each thing. Again, also for very little benefit. I mean, in theory, this should be very fast because the tables you shouldn't have to like find what you're looking for. But I feel like I'm causing myself work here that I don't need to do. I'm really not used to working with squeal databases. It's been a while. All right, so these are the things that we get. Let's keep, we don't need all of that. We just need our ID. Communicative total. Yeah, sounds good. Now what we do need is we need story segment here. We'll need the story segment. I think that's the only other thing outside of these. Yeah, I think. So then these are going to be text. Let's see. I'm actually going to. There we go. I don't know that I need to save the user login and ID either. So the thing with the, I feel like I should keep the user ID because they can change their name. So we'll keep that, but we don't need the user login. We're going to delete that. Might as well keep it, just in case we need it in the future. I don't know. Wait. Total would be integer. Tier is also integer. How's your weekend going, Russell? Is there any Rocket League going on? And then we probably should do like an ID that's just, yeah, auto increment ID. Oh, we have these pubs in front of here. That was not gonna like that. Really? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude. Is it like allergies? I don't know if where you live there's allergies. I know in the Ohio River Valley, which is actually a long span of area, allergies are a bit of a problem in certain seasons. That came, I don't know. I don't really know what it feels like to be hungover. So I couldn't really tell. but you feel bad when you wake up. That's one thing I can tell you. You feel like garbage when you wake up. And then this is not follow events. This is, let's see. Gift sub events. Might be. Yeah, I don't know, like we have a lot of ragweed that causes a ton of allergies. Like it grows. We got ragweed and bluegrass. So yeah, that's that. Pick your choice of allergy producing toxin. And that's what we have. And story segment. That's all we need. Right? I think this is all we need. We'll find out. I don't know how I feel about doing this. I do this. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a legendary statement. I'm also stuck with a weird issue in Rust and eBPF. My goodness, you took the two hardest things and just put them together, didn't you? I'm altering a packet, but when I try to change the checksum, it refuses to write it like there was some lock that only allows me to write once. I've actually only done eBPF manipulation in Go. No, I didn't do it in Go. I did it in C++. I have... We can look at my code after I get this in a working position. I've only done that in C++, so I don't know if that will relate. But isn't manipulating that just a call? So I don't feel like that's a true statement. Right. So everything is core do it yourself. Yeah. That's a good call, dude. I don't know off the top of my head. You're more than welcome to post the code in Discord. I actually have been meaning to do more with eBPF. Like, I understand it enough, but like I haven't actually written a ton of stuff for it. And I feel like I should write some more stuff. Like, I need to have a project to do, like a silly project, but like something that I actually want to do. Because I do find it hard to be motivated to do something without like a project behind it. Even something as dumb as building the Hangman game as a Kubernetes operator. I thought that was a bunch of fun, but it was like an actual thing. I have a game, Hangman, we're going to build it in a Kubernetes operator. I need something like that with eBPF. It's so much more difficult to find something for eBPF, just so difficult. Maybe that's just me, but there are BPF helpers and one that alters the I would be interested if that's the case. Like if like that's an interesting point because like maybe the kernel does limit your process to only one write action. I don't know. So if that like solves it, that would be a really interesting thing to know. Those types of errors can be so frustrating to debug because it's like I'm doing everything the exact same and it's just not working for some reason. And then it's also hard because it's in eBPF to actually like find a system message that would actually tell you why it was rejected, because there should be a kernel level message somewhere, right, that tells you why that message got rejected. I think. Again, I've only done very little bit in eBPF, so. All right, we need to do all of this. Yeah, the SQLX query. You first thought your checksum function was randomly failing? Yeah, I could see how that would be. All right, so we want an insert into, what did we name this database table? Gift sub events. So now we need to basically insert all of our values there. And then we do this thing, the big values, and these are the number of ones we're doing, which I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's see, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them. Oops, over here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we can finish this off up here with a good old, I think this is the right. Let's validate that we're inserting into, these are the things, these are the values, and then we need to actually give the values for these are the column names. Then we need to give, okay. Yep. So, and then these are the actual values. It should be giving us an error at this time. Yeah. Add semicolon there. What? No. Yeah, we have like a dot await and whatnot. So we won't do what Rust is asking us to do. We know better. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to just take these from here. Feels like I've done this a couple times now. There's got to be a better way, I feel like. We're gonna combine some of this. Actually, let's just do 3 per. 3 per. Well, let's do 4. Let's just do how many will ever fit in that amount of space. All right. Total user ID, user login, user name, and this is just story segment. All right. This should have a semicolon. There we go. All right. It's going to say that the no such table. Fair. We haven't run our migration script just yet. That's okay. That's good, though. I like SQLX so far. So far, so good. Oh, we need to do this. 1 second. Somebody's knocking at my door. I'm gonna go see who that is. Be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. We're good. Now we just got to run these migration scripts. This got us in trouble last time. It was just my neighbor. She has an amazing garden. They grows way too many tomatoes, so she brought me tomatoes, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We need to run these migration scripts. Now, this got us in trouble because, let's see. I think we need to run them from here because if we're looking, this is where the database actually is. So let's see how we ran the migrations last time on that. Let's see, SQLX, migrate, run. Yeah, this is perfect. So we have to give it the database where we want it to be here, and then we're giving it the AI manager. Okay, perfect. There, well, error return from database near sent. Oh boy, I screwed up. What did I screw up? Oh, you know what? Last one can't have a comma. I think I did this in the last one too. All right. Beautiful. Extra comma is all that it was. You know what? I have been super blessed by the neighborhood that we're in. We got some of the best neighbors that I could ask for. Really good. The only bad, and it's not a bad neighbor. He is fantastic, but he's like a lawn care like professional, and I'm a professional weed grower. And he is super tolerant of every single spring. He gives me tips on how my yard could be better. And he never runs out of things to recommend. And he's super tolerant of how bad my lawn is. So he has a beautiful yard. He actually did this really cool green driveway. Really cool. So basically he did these like octagonal hole in the middle blocks, and the dirt's like this much lower. And so it grows grass and the car can drive on it, but it doesn't smash the grass, and he can like mow it. So it's like a green driveway. It's actually super cool. Super cool. I like it. I'm not going to do it, but then I have to mow my driveway. That seems like the worst. Okay. Then this should actually clear up. Sweet. This does. So we have an insert. All right. So now we have handle gift sub. We get, okay. If it's anonymous, if they, we do this, we get their message. We write new rate event. This is what we don't want. We now have our own thing. Write new gift sub event. Now we need to basically do the gift sub event here. Boom. And we're passing the story segment in. And then we'll pass all of that to the front end. Awesome. We're done. No, we're not. It's not compiling yet. We got errors. Cannot move out of... Oh, wait. All right. I want to clone you, goose. Yeah, we could do that better. Non-exhaustive patterns. Okay, so what do we want to do if it doesn't... Twitch says it has to be 1,000 to 3,000, 2,000. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to reorder these so that it doesn't kill your guys' minds. There we go. My mind was fine with it. If it's not one of those, we need to do a catch-all. And I don't like catch-alls, but... I was going to say unattainable. But then it's going to say, tell me a story about how total gifted new unattainable powers. This is the true legendary. Okay, I'm going to do unattainable. It shouldn't be obtainable. There we go. That's how we spell unattainable. Oh, and then we don't need mute. I was already talking about that. That's why this is so clean. I like it so much better. And we can do the same thing to this up here. I write different languages than just Rust. And so I forget to do this sometime, and I fall back to my old Java ways. Java just creeps in and bites me in the derriere sometime. Oh, wait, what was I matching on? What was I looking for? The username. Wait. I need a match. some... all other cases, we'll just do anonymous here. Oh, shoot. I deleted the word anonymous, so now I need to do this. All right, what I need to do is get this inside of Vim. If I get a spelling assistant inside of Vim, all right, see you, Russell. Thanks for sticking around. I'll be here. We can make this better. So basically in Rust, you can just not manage memory, or by treating it like Haskell. Basically just make a copy anytime you want to use something, and you're fine. It's not the most performant thing to do, but you then don't have to manage lifetimes. We could actually borrow this and do a little bit better. And we do some here. This is a little bit different here, though. So, and then we don't need mutable anymore, which is fantastic. Why does it not like this? Remove these. Oh, okay. It is a catch-all. I was going to do... Actually, we could just do none, because that's the only other option, right? This is still an exhaustive list. Cool. No catch-all. We'll keep it exhaustive. Okay, we still have one more error. Where is it error? Oh, we didn't actually handle it. Nice. Twitch event, channel gift, sub-gift. Sub-gift. Beautiful. And we'll do self.handle gift sub-event. Sub-gift. Done. Why is it upset? Why is it upset? Mismatched types. Wait. No. Oh. I gotta await this. Because we have like database calls and stuff like that. Okay. My bad. There we go. Variable does not need to be mutable. Why did I make this mutable? It does need to be mutable. This borrows it as mutable. We'll compile this. We'll see. All right, now this is erroring because we didn't import these. That's all. Yeah. We just didn't import the struct. Let's see. Just here? I think it's just in here, right? So we can just do that. Sweet. Expected. Oh, did I screw up parsing this? Oh, okay. This is, again, this just has a generic payload, and that payload has the message, which is like this. Okay, we're just going to copy and paste this. This is where it can be very difficult to know what you actually get from this thing, because they only actually have payloads. Payloads are the things that are coming from you. And then I do need to do this because there's other stuff from the payload. So let's just copy this. That should be good because that's what I should do here effectively. All right, let's see. I thought I was exhaustive. I thought I was exhaustive in that one. I really thought I was exhaustive. What did I miss? Using. What did I exist? I didn't miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm exhaustive. What am I missing there, chat? What am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm not sure what it is. Now I get this one because this is like the payload, and I'm not using everything out of the payload because I'm just using the message. There's also the subscription information. And that's the web socket subscription information, not the. Cannot find struct variant or union channel gift message in the scope. Didn't import it again because that's in messages. So where is that? Done. Uh-oh, we don't like this. Oh yeah, we need to do to string, boom. Interesting here. Now that we have auto thing here, what is here? They're passing that as a string. Okay. We're gonna have to rework some of the stuff that we've done. I was not expecting it as a string, but we'll have to deal with it as a string. All right, why are you guys upset? Oh, these are just optionals. Is this not an optional? It is an optional. Wait, why was it error? Oh no. Oh, gross. Oh, gross. But it's a string. I don't want to take their braid type. So I'm going to have to convert this. Shoot. I don't want their braid type. Fix this. All right, so how do we want to handle these? I guess Oh, I guess I make a conversion function. I guess. Can I not do that? Okay, I can't do that. Can I not do toString on these? I can't do a function here, can I? Oh. Mismatch type. Oh. I want this as a stir. Sorry, that's what I wanted. Not a reference to the string pointer. All right. Wait, this should be fine now. This is a braid type, right? Oh, this is not a braid type. Oh. Very interesting. Twitch's API said it was 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000. They did not state that it could also be prime. Interesting. Interesting. We gotta deal with this. This is what TotalBit was warning us about, is there's hidden, undocumented things. It's not just 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Well, shoot. I said TotalBit. I meant ToggleBit. I don't know why I said total. Toggle. All right, let's see. We need to just translate that. How do we want to do that? Let's make a function to do the tiers. I think that will make a lot of sense. I think that will make a lot of sense to have something that, honestly, we kind of need this to be in our own thing. I don't want the Serdian stuff. I almost feel like doing something like this. We can leave that. I almost feel like doing something like this. Did we already do this once? We did. All right, but I like my new one better. So we're going to delete the old one and use this one. We're going to see if that makes things break. Probably will. Hopefully. We'll see. All right, so now we have our own subscription tier. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass what we call that tier. What we call that tier. So that's what we're going to translate it to is our own subscription tier. You know, and we're going to rename it to, we're going to rename this just to tier so that it's, we'll do it null sub tier. So that's easy to keep track of their sub tiers versus our sub tiers. And what we're going to do is when we do this translation of sub tiers, we can have a function and basically take their tier and put whatever string that we want for that tier. Twitch tier to our tier. This is the function. We did this once originally already, but we didn't actually give any other information. We literally just translated it into ours, which was so tier 1 is going to be rare. Tier 2 is going to be epic. And tier 3 is going to be legendary. And other is going to be other. We'll leave other as other. And then prime is going to be prime of... What should a prime be? Prime. That's all I could think of. I thought about making it just Optimus. But, okay, cool. Fix that little bug. And then we can just do their tier. Their tier to our tier. Twitch tier to our tier. Sweet. And then we'll just put tier in here. Nice. Not confusing at all. Mismatched types, expected string, found null sub tier. We need to fix this. This should be a null sub tier. Why are you upset about that? Oh, we implement... Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where's our null sub tier? Please, null sub tier. There we go. You happy now? Yeah. Better. Okay. Now we... Oh, okay. Now we don't have to do this match at all. Also, this isn't as unattainable since Prime can get there as well. Okay. So, this is better, though. I think we've made progress. So now we can... Our tier is just a null sub-tier, and we have different values this can be. Tier 1. This should just be like this, right? You know, we'll actually do correct spelling, something like that. And then, you know, we're just going to copy and paste this because all of these will actually be the same, except this will just be 2 and this will be a 3. Beautiful. And then we'll do another one here. And this is going to be prime. And that will just, again, be what's passed in. We're defining configuration isn't here. This function is just getting what it needs, which is a better method anyways. And then we should have one last one, null subtier other. And yeah, you know, we're not sure. We're not sure what that is. All right. And then this is exhaustive at this point. Done. Cannot move. Yep. We're gonna fix that. Is it not going? No matter clone on. Oh, this doesn't support clone. And then this needs to support clone too. Now we can go back and we can just clone that. Beautiful. That way we don't have to manage memory. That's the best memory. All right, and now this is upset because now we have this event.tier, but this is not a thing because we need to actually have it as a string. What we're going to do is just pass that in instead of having anything to parse it in here. We already parsed it anyways in the thing that calls this. Comma. And then this will be tier. There we go. Now that's happy. This is happy. No, this is not happy. Why is this not happy? Oh, because we got to put in tier here, which we already have done. There we go. Almost. Everything's almost happy. Everything's almost happy. Oh, we got to handle these optionals. All right, so I think we can just make a generic function for this. Function braid option optional to string optional. Don't love it, but don't hate it. So, and then, so this is going to take in a, can I make this generic? Ooh, this is going to push my rustability to the test. We need an option of type T. Now we're going to confine that to a type T that has the function toString on it, which I have to look for an interface. I'm sure that's an interface. So we'll have to constrain it to that. So input is of an option type T. This is a function of type T. And then we're going to have a result of option of string. That's going to be our return result, right? All right. Quick stretch. All right. So this is the function, right? We want to return an optional of type string. One second. I think this goes here. Sorry. There we go. And we'll constrain this to a method that has the toString, because as long as we have the toString, we should be able. We're saying that anything that's optional should have toString on it. This will work if that works. So then we can just do match on the input, and the case where there's none, we'll just return none. And then some thing, I don't know, something, some thing dot toString, right? And that should work as long as we constrain this option T to a thing that implements toString. I don't know this though. Rust trait toString. It's trait toString. Okay. Well. There we go. This should do our translation. Unwieldy. But I think it's the unwieldy we need. Not the unwieldy we want, the unwieldy we need. Yeah, look at that. Everything compiles. I have no idea if it will compile. Everything went just yellow, which means maybe some bad code. But let's see if it will compile. Beautiful. Compiled, ran. This is going to say no GPT key. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We've done it. That was... I always think it's more work to add a new thing than I actually expect it to be. And like a lot of it is just like dumb work that maybe should be extracted better. Like I really think, honestly, this is bad. Like this right here seems like a bunch of repeated stuff, but it's not actually repeated. But I think that this is actually more of a code smell than I'm giving it credit for. I think there's a couple things that make this a code smell. One, we have configuration hard-coded. And this configuration should really be dependency injected in. But we don't have any configuration system. So that's problem one. Yeah, that's problem number one. That's maybe the main problem. The other thing that takes time is just doing stuff like this, just translating it to be what you want, what's going to be useful. Man, it did take longer than I was expecting it to. Added gifted sub support. Toggle bit is a how do you spell legend? Is it D-G-G-D? It's D-G-G-D. We're going to look that up before we commit that to Git. No, it just is G. G. My goodness. My goodness. Toggle bit. There you go. Toggle bit. You get a commit message. Added gifted sub support to our thing. And you get to be in a commit message in an open source project. Now, I think you said you were going to be right back, and then I asked you a question, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was about braid. I think I understand why they use braid. I'm not sure that I like it, but I think I understand why. Now, I think asking you actually helped me rubber duck it, especially since you just ignored me. Oh, well, I'm glad you had dinner. Was it good? What did you have? Well, we now have... Oh, wow. Chips, steak, and sandwiches. I don't know exactly where you are. When you say chips, do you mean like French fries or do you mean like potato chips? Because I've learned you can't make assumptions about the word chips. I think you're talking about French fries. Okay. I thought because of your time difference that it was more likely to be French fries than it was to be what I consider chips. Man, that sounds delicious. That sounds fantastic. All right. What? Not crisps. That's right. My bad. Not crisps. Obviously I don't know English very well. So I'm learning though. I'm learning. What type of chips? I am particularly a huge fan. I know this sounds childish, but if they're curly or they have like the I call them the rumple cut where they're like jagged, I do like those a bit more, as well as I love sweet potato chips. I like sweet potato crisps too. If you never had sweet potato crisps, you have been missing something. You have been missing something. All right. Sweet potatoes, okay. Yeah, chunky chips. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And sweet potato is brilliant. I agree. All right. Okay, so we're done with that. The next thing that I originally wanted to start with, but this was good. This was fantastic. Is I've wanted to. So we've been working through. I've been making a small YouTube series on learning Rust, and I did it from a perspective of let's not worry about the borrow checker first. Let's just learn the syntax. Let's learn those types of things, and we'll come around and if we need to do something, we'll clone it. And we'll learn. We'll worry about borrow checking later. So the last episode that we did there, and then I know I'm going to disappoint Togglebit because I'm going to do some Go after we do this, and Go really gets under his skin. I'm pretty sure he's not the person that had an entire stream raging about Go package management. I did that for sure. Okay, so we did this in the last one, and this basically super simple application just to mimic curl in theory. It doesn't really mimic curl, but you get the idea. It goes and gets something from the internet, and this was to learn how to use external packages. Go for loops are getting better. Yeah. video. All right. That's super weird. So, yeah, Togglebit, that's super weird because like there was no mute button. Like I didn't press mute, but it was just not receiving input. Now, I haven't been streaming with the Rode very much. I literally just got it like a week ago because I wanted to be able to speak about things like, and I wanted to be able to also, this is really cool. I have a dual setup, so I have a little Mac Mini that that streams, and I wanted to do a little bit better audio production. And so like the Rode seemed like the only semi cheap thing out there for me to use. But it literally just seemed like it wasn't picking anything up from the microphone. I don't think the XLR, I've never had it have a problem with going into the other thing. Seems nice and snug. Maybe I'll get a new XLR cable. Maybe that's what I'll do. It's not loosey-goosey. I mean, I didn't use super glue on it, but let me know if it happens again. Yeah, that's worrying. That's a little bit worrying. And yeah, thanks for letting me know. I thought you muted me because I said something that offended you, like I use Go or something like that. Okay, so the last time the last thing that we covered was how to use external packages, and so I'm recording another video tonight about updating request to be asynchronous, because a lot of packages use the async await. And I feel like people don't need to know how to pin memory, how to write a future. I want to cover how to pin memory, how to write a future in the future. It's pretty fantastic. But I don't want, the whole idea was to give people a way to do this without needing to know everything from the get-go. And so what I wanted to do was basically give them, hey, if you want to use a library and it has async and await and you want to leverage that, but you don't want to know threading in theory, you just want to call some of their functions that have async and await, I wanted to kind of talk them through that. So I wanted to talk with you guys, about maybe some of the things that would be important with, with that. So basically, all that we have to do to update this code here is to give it the Tokyo main. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Tokyo main, what it's doing for us here. Yeah, just talk a little bit about what Tokyo main is doing here. We'll have to import Tokyo main. I believe, is that a feature? It might be a feature. Guess on version here. I'm guessing 1. That's not true. I do believe, wait, let's see. Tokyo main. Is it not under a feature? I thought it was, but it might not. Maybe it's not. And we'll just leave it as this then. 132. I have feature flags at the top of the screen. I don't know what you're saying, ToggleBit. Oh, yes. Usually in your documentation, like if you're going to use this, you'll say if you need a feature flag for it, because sometimes like it's hard to tell if this actually blocks something, like if you need it, like which one of these do you need? Oh, sorry about the ads. I think I tried to turn them off as much as possible. They said I needed to do 3 minutes every hour to not have pre-roll ads, so that's ads. So sorry about that. But yeah, my only problem with this is it doesn't sometimes this is hard to like what does parking lot actually give you? I actually think for my thing I want people just to do, I forgot about this. Tokyo has this, which is a nice one. You can just do full, which is a nice feature set. I know you probably shouldn't do this on a lot of stuff, but oh, the audio glitch is back again. Let me just restart the device. 1 second. Let me try experimenting with this. I'm going to give you a tone. Okay. Okay. So that seemed to be fine. It is frustrating. It is frustrating because do you know what I found? There's no really good audio device until you spend like $5,000. And you're like, wait a second. Wait a second. This Rode Caster Duo seems pretty good. It's still not cheap though. It's still not cheap. Well, I restarted it. I agree with you, Togglebit. That's why I got the Rode. Was I felt like it came the closest. All the other ones had problems or didn't have the features. I want to start doing a little bit more sound production for the stream, so hopefully we can do that. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully let me know if it happens again. I mean, there is nothing loose here, and moving this arm doesn't pull on anything. So like it shouldn't cause anything because like this connection right here is like not getting pulled or jerked or anything, and these are all tightened down, and it's a nice secure connection. So, and I've never had that before, just this week. Maybe the restart helped it. Hopefully the restart helped it. All right, so we've imported that, and so like I want to talk a little bit about that. Just it's a macro and why it's a macro because of how Tokyo is going to do an execution pool that allows you to have a thread pool that it executes this stuff on, and maybe talk a little bit about how await just basically queues something to do a little bit of work and then do a little bit of work and keep being executed. And then I want to show how to use it. So if you have we did this request blocking, but we can actually update this to be a non-blocking call, so that they can use non-blocking calls. I didn't know if there was something more that I should go, because like I'm trying to keep it really simple without like going really far into I didn't want to go really far into threading, because what I'd love to do is let me think about what I'm saying I'd love to do. What my goal here is to make everything approachable where you can do stuff without necessarily fully understanding everything at once. That's the idea. And so what I'd like to do is show them how to utilize await and async. I like it. We're gonna call await and async awink. That's awink. That's the official shortened version of it. Because like we can just shorten this to, but it's not jank free. That's the problem. Like, I feel like for, I think, okay, so I actually got it on sale, which I'm not sure how I got it on sale, but it was still like $350. And I feel like on sale, like, and that's good. Like, that's cheaper than like the Rodecaster 2 is like 700 or something. I feel like it should be a little less jank sometimes, because this is not the first problem I've had, but I think I'll get accustomed to some of those things and know how to handle them. Hopefully, that's the idea at least. All right, so for this, we can just do let. And then we can just use their get URL. And so basically you can just do this and then use the await syntax. And this is happening, on that executor thread. And that's what I wanted to explain to him. And we're just going to update this code to basically be this. And so we're using await stuff, where then we can like print something in between this returning and whatnot. So just a really quick demo of how you could use await. If you're using a library that, if you go to request or any of these types of things, they basically assume that you have await. And so I wanted to let people be able to leverage that, show them how to use Tokyo main without going all into threading. What do you guys think are priorities of things that I should talk about? I was going to talk about, how Tokyo main is just making another main function that can be async, because your main function can't be async. And I was just going to talk about that and why it can't be async, because the system has to enter and call. So this is just actually making a main function that isn't that and setting up an executor. I don't know. So I was thinking we would actually do basically what Tokyo main does in our own main function, and like going through all the steps of setting up Tokyo as an executor and then running this stuff inside of a new function. I thought that would be maybe kind of cool, so you understand what it's doing, but I'm not sure if that's getting too big into the weeds. Okay. You would mention that okay, that's a good point. Let me put a comment here. Okay. We can talk about that. Do you think it's useful to write the equivalent of this? So we could write the equivalent of this in like a function main, and then like basically make this to a an async work that gets executed onto the executor, so like this isn't magical anymore. Like I think it helps people understand that this isn't magical. I could look it up, but you can give it the number of threads. You can actually give it yeah, you can give it like the worker threads, and this is like how many system threads it's going to spread work across. So you could actually do one thread, and then it's not actually splitting work, it's actually just chopping the work up, and it's actually not a multi-threaded application. Do I dig into that, or is that too much in the weeds? That's what I don't know at this point, like keeping it simple. I almost feel like understanding the difference between a multi-threaded and what I will call a green thread is more of a separate lesson itself, but I feel like it's other developers, the target audience is for other developers that are just wanting to get into Rust. And so I guess why, for me, when I understood what Tokyo Main was doing, it made everything else easier for me because it wasn't magical anymore. So me understanding how to do it without the Tokyo Main macro made Tokyo Main make sense to me. Like, how do you have an async main function? And this is why I like asking you guys, because I feel like it could actually make my videos a little bit better than they are. Not hard to make my videos better, but boy, I have a bunch of videos hopefully dropping next week. I got 2 Kubernetes videos. Got my release notes done for 127 and 128. I have a new format that's going to make them a little bit faster for me to do, a little bit easier. Kubernetes 128 did release. We'll cover it tomorrow. In the news. No need to explain the basics of async versus parallel then? Okay. Perfect. Let me make a note of that here. No need to explain async versus. Awesome. Okay. Let's start with how to use async requests of something, altering main to be async, then tailing about or talking about type future. Right. Okay. So type future was going to be one of the things because I was going to basically do this and then be like, oh, let's use res, and then be like, but res is of a type future. And what does a future mean? And a future means that we need to await it. And basically walk back from there, being like, well, to await a future, we need the function to be asynchronous or to pass it to something that's going to wait on it, an executor. And I guess I was going to walk back from basically at the very start of the video, we're going to get this future, this type of future, and then be like, how do we handle a future, and what does a future mean? And a future represents future work to be done, but it doesn't actually do it. There's nothing that's going to be done. This will never do anything here. we can return from the function immediately and nothing will happen. No threads are spun up, nothing. What do we need to do? Well, we can await it, but to await it, we have to be inside of an asynchronous function. Why? Well, because that asynchronous function will basically return this future to whatever executor that it's handling on, and going down that rabbit hole. That was the idea. Yeah. Maybe going over each error you get when in a async app and calling an async function. What type of errors are you talking about? Like when you don't you mean like when the main function isn't async and it's going to complain when you want to await this? I was planning on doing that. That's one error. Oh, not a synchronous app? Okay. Cargo new, then calling an async function. Okay. What other errors? That's like the big one for me. Now, there are more painful ones, like when we were holding a lock across an await, which was bad, but like that's a more esoteric error. And I'm not sure how to easily demonstrate something like that, especially because that gets into the borrow realm. Is there another error? I'm trying to think of other errors that I would get. You know, the other thing that we'll have to get here is this object, once you do await it, is a response. But that response, then you can do like text, but text itself is going to return another future that you then have to also await. So it turns out to be this, but I don't know of an error. Again, unfortunately, the thing you have to be careful about is going like this and assuming that you got the text, because you don't. You have a future. You got to be cognizant. I guess I could do the error of where we try to print this. I don't think you can print, like they don't implement. So like if you try to, this won't work, right? Yeah, because wait. Oh, I put the comma inside there. Not bad. But this still shouldn't work because future so I can go over this error. Which we have actually covered this error. But that's the only other error that I can think of. I was planning on specifically saying Tokyo is a specific option that's a very common and easy one to pick up and use. But there are other options because Rayon is really, it's different, but it's similar. But I think like if you wanted to go into that, that would be a video. I think on its own. Like, what's the difference between Rayon and Tokyo? Because Rayon is very much about system threading and multi-threaded applications, whereas Tokyo does multi-threaded as a feature, right? Because it's really about slicing up work into chunks and executing it. It could be serially if you only have one thread. Whereas Rayon is purely multi-threaded, right? I mean, like, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't use Rayon that much, but that's my understanding. Rust Rayon. I'm happy to dig into it, though, and do a video on it. But yeah, it's for parallel execution. Yeah. It takes your, like, maps and makes them parallel or whatnot. Your maps or your what is it called? The big data, the folding. And it makes them pretty much easy to have parallel. But again, that's multi-threaded. I'm happy to do a video on that. I just wasn't planning on doing that. I'm trying to keep these like 10 minutes or less, if I can. And I feel like that's kind of a rabbit hole. I also feel like that gets back to talking about parallelism versus async await. Anything else? Or do you think that I should do talking about parallelism versus asynchronous? Okay. I can do that. I'm gonna actually just copy your just gonna do this really quickly. I think, okay, that's a fair thing. At least also pointing them in the right direction. So if they're new and they want to try to do one of those things, they at least have a place to start. They have a function. I actually want to do a video just on like the ecosystem that I actually want to do. It's probably going to be like a 20-minute video, but I want to do like a high level, like if you want to do IO, Tokyo. If you want to do data workload, you want, Rayon. If you want to do parsing, Surdy. If you want to do, I want to do a video like that, but like touch on them at a really high level, just so people getting into it. Sometimes it can be really daunting to be like, oh, what does everybody use to serialize JSON? I think that's a good point. Okay. Anything else that I should add into this video then? So we'll talk about how to actually do it. We'll talk a little bit about how Tokyo Main is actually working. And we'll talk about a little bit of the ecosystem that's available out there to do it. I can't think of another common error let me know if you come up, think of another common error. I will record this either tonight or tomorrow night. Not having the right features enabled. I was going to get around this by telling people to use the full. They have a full, which isn't full, but oh, this is Rayon's documents. Oh wait, they have a full, and full has most things that you need. And it keeps you from guessing. Okay, but I will put that as a... Maybe I should, I haven't shown. I talked about features, but I didn't show this, which Togglebit's really right, that you can go and click on this and see the feature flags that are available. Show feature flags in crates. Okay. All right. Hey guys, it's time to eat lunch. How about we go make lunch? Eggs. Mari's gonna make them. All right. Cool. Okay. Anything else? And then I'll call this good. Did you missed all the excitement, actually, Togglebit. I actually never knew about the feature thing until I was watching somebody else's stream when I saw the feature, and this was like 2 weeks ago. So I also didn't know that you could do the feature flag up here, which is pretty awesome. I know that you can ask, I've known about cargo. So when you install something with cargo, you can actually get the features here. So if you do something like, let's learn Rust, CLI. If you do like cargo, what was I going to do? Well, I know when you add it, if you add Tokyo, it will give you all of the features that you can do right here, which is nice. So that's what I've always depended on. But yeah, you can go here. So you didn't miss anything. We were just talking about some of the stuff. So this is what I'm going to cover, Togglebit. I don't really want you to look at my Learning Rust YouTube videos. Actually, a good review would always be welcome because I want to make sure that these are best for the people. Basically, I'm trying to make a series on people that know how to program, want to get into Rust, but don't want to just get shoved into memory management, which I feel like is what a lot of Rust ones do. Like, or they're like, hey, take a reference. So you know what we've done? We've done a lot of copying instead of taking a reference, so that they don't have to worry about lifetimes. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a good way of doing it. It was a way I wanted to try to help people get into Rust without having big issues. You also missed that part. Russell is right. There was a lion. There was actually 2 lions, but you guys couldn't see the other lion. All right. So this is basically some notes that we have. Yeah, I know. So talk a bit. I really struggle with this. I really struggle with this. All right, so I don't like a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, so I do a lot of Kubernetes stuff, but I always hesitate because a lot of people don't need Kubernetes. But then I also get into a point where I'm like, I don't want to preface every video with you don't probably need Kubernetes. But if you are using Kubernetes, here's this cool thing that you could do. And so like, I have a problem with like I feel like tech YouTubing always is pulling some developers to the latest fashion. And I think that's a really bad way to engineer. I actually have a speech that I have submitted uh, to a conference. If I get to speak it there, I will save it there. But it's basically about how we need to stop designing software by fashion, and we actually need to be putting engineering principles to use. And and I think that tech YouTubing actually encourages the designing by fashion, and I really don't like it. Um, and so I'm always worried that I contribute to it. Um, but I think that I worry too much about it. And I think that that makes me have some longer, drier videos where it's like, here's all the reasons you don't want to do this. But then if you do want to do this, here's what you do. And I think that like maybe I need to make a few videos eventually on that. Like, don't design by fashion, design by good engineering principles, design by understanding what your teams can do and can't do, and design by understanding what problems you need to solve and what problems you don't need to solve. Um, and I think those are distinct videos I can make, and I need to then not worry about being like, hey, yeah, here's this cool Kubernetes thing. Go try using it. Of course, it targets the latest trends. Yes, don't worry about it. You will become depressed enough when you figure out which videos are actually doing well on YouTube. I can tell you which videos don't do well on YouTube. My videos. My videos. Actually, they do better than I expected. I have a lot of people that follow me on YouTube, which surprises me. I say a lot of people. There are more people that watch the Primogen stream than watch my YouTube videos, but it's more people than I expected. I watched yours, Togglebit. I liked yours. I am also doing it wrong. I believe I am also doing it wrong. That is kind of the whole thing. I don't want I want to help people. And now obviously I could do it better than what I'm doing it. But I'm trying to get better about it. All right, I really need to do some work on this. We have I will record this later. One thing that I'm trying to do is I got stuck when I was doing my classes and lessons, doing them what I want to say is too professionally. I would like to have fun, and I want to make my videos more fun where we do some of this stuff and it's not so class like. It's been a little too class like for my taste. I want to have fun while learning software engineering principles. I want that to be the case. So I want to focus on that a little bit more because I want to have fun making videos and not take myself too seriously, I think is maybe what I've done wrong. Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know how I feel about clickbait. I've had an internal monologue on this for a long time. If my goal is to help. So half of me doesn't like clickbait at all, but and some people would say they don't define this as clickbait, and that's fine. It's catchy maybe, but I don't like the classical sense of clickbait, and but I'm putting a lot of work out there to help people. So I think it would behoove me to make mine a little bit more clickbait, like not clickbait, but a little bit more clickbaity-ish. Because the fact is, if I put something out there that nobody watches, it doesn't help anybody. So I have to attract people to help people. I don't know if this is a slippery slope, though. I don't know if that's like how other tech YouTubers got to where they are. So I don't, this is where I've had this internal monologue for a while. Right, or you're not going to believe what's in Kubernetes 127. I have to tell you, it was kind of a boring release. It really was. But I could make it more clickbaity. Is Rust... This is where, like, I don't know. Like, should I do that for my YouTube videos? It feels wrong to me. But... I don't know. So, like, for this... Has Kubernetes peaked? So, like, okay, for example, next week there's going to be at least 3 videos. There's going to be this video for Rust, where we're going to learn about threading. How would I make that clickbaity? I really want it for people that want to learn this class. I struggle with that. Number 2, we're going to have a Mighty Mini Monday on K9. So we're going to have a little thing introducing people into this in case they haven't ever used this tool. I think that it's pretty great, and I would love people to know that it's out there and that they can, use it, because it's pretty fantastic. So how do I make that clickbaity? Is, I could do something like K9S destroys kubectl. I don't know. Is that clickbaity even? Is that even accurate of what I'm wanting to do? I don't know. And then I have the Kubernetes 127 release notes. I could do something like the greatest feature to come to Kubernetes 127. I need to get better about it. So ToggleBit, that's my question though. I want to help others. So I would say that it's not even necessarily to teach, but it's to share my experience, my knowledge, my whatnot. I don't know that I'm a great teacher. I don't know that I know enough to teach. But my thing is, for YouTube specifically, if it is to teach, I have to get people, or to share my experience, my knowledge, my whatever. I have to get people to watch it, to do that. Is this a better kubectl? My goodness, Russell, I just need you to name each one of my videos. I am so going to take this. I'm so going to take this unapologetically. I will put I'm going to give you credit in the description of the video. But yeah, like, so for the Mighty Mini Mondays series that I do, I like just showing things people might not be aware of, because, like, do you use Xargs? And if you don't, is it because you didn't know it existed? Or K9S, do you know it exists? I want to have it as a way to share that type of stuff with people. But again, if people don't click on it, then I didn't share anything. I just went into a woods and screamed at a bunch of trees about how K9S is pretty awesome. kubectl is dead. This is a kubectl killer. Okay, ToggleBit and Russell, credit. This is a kubectl killer. Gosh dang it, I like it. But so this is my thing. Like I would say it's still educational. My goal is educational, but I have struggled with a video that I think is really really good. And let me show you a video that I I worked hard at, and I think had a really good educational message for people. Was this one? And I'm not like self promoting. I am super hard self promoting here. Um, but I wanted to give an example. It's one of my least viewed videos. One of my least viewed videos is this one. Did AWS? Oh, let me share my screen. Did AWS start using monoliths? It wasn't clickbaity enough. This has the most thumbs up ratio to people viewed it. I guess you can see right here. It has like 20 people that watched it and 10 thumbs up. People that actually watched it loved it, but almost nobody watched it. So like that's my thing. Is like if I am really wanting to share my experience and my knowledge, I guess I have to get better about getting people to actually click on it, which I don't know. That sounds wrong. I don't know. Oh, you have a reputation? I'm destroying your reputation. A dirty Java Kubernetes developer. That's the toggle bit. Honestly though, guys, go check out Togglebit's stream. Fantastic stream, and he has a reputation to maintain as a Java, a Java Kubernetes. Uh, best Java Kubernetes engineer out there. That's my clickbait. That's my clickbait for today. You tried Kotlin on stream once. How did you like? I feel like I would like Kotlin. I feel like it has a lot of the same premise as Rust. It almost to me feels like Swift. I actually really like Swift. I feel dirty saying that, knowing it comes from Apple. And if it wasn't for Apple, I might like it more. Like if it started as like a just purely open source project, I probably would be a Swift developer and not a Rust developer. Yeah. I feel the same way when I've tried Kotlin. So I did an Android app in Kotlin. So I've written Kotlin enough to know it. And I was like, okay, I get it. And it's better than Java for sure. For sure. But yeah, I'm also like, it's still running on the JVM. Do we really want that? Is that really something we want? I don't think so. You're using the sweep. I don't even know what the sweep is, but I'm assuming it's like a dance move. It's like you dance and you rigged it up so that your Xbox, they had the Xbox thing that watched your hands. And so the sweep is like how you type dancing. Don't ruin this for me, because this is now my perception of the sweep. Give it a swift search. I really don't know what this is. The Keeb maker. Oh, I have seen these types of keyboards. Oh, the ultra few keys. Is that a crab? Is this thing using Rust? Is it written in Rust? I didn't think people did embedded stuff with Rust very much. This is definitely embedded. Why is there a crab? I don't know. Okay, yeah, QMK is actually what I use on my keyboard too. It is C. Huh. So this is what I stream with. For work, I use the Moonlander. I use this. Well, they have a dark version. I don't use the white version. I don't do eye strain. Yeah, I do that version. You gave it away because you didn't like it, or because you just had a viewer that you really liked? But streaming meta, if you do bite-sized streams, you will do better. Working on the same project day in and day out is harder to make content with. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that just from the thing. I like today, my goal was to, well, we got sidetracked because of you, but my goal was to do this because I want to make that video. And I like talking it over with other people so they can ask questions. Like, this is great stuff that came up with us, where I think we'll have a better video now from it. And then the other goal, we're not going to do the other goal. But the other goal was, we were gonna tackle something in Go. I have a project in Eddington that we were gonna do, but we're not doing that now because I ran out of time. So I'm winding down. I think I try to each night have like one thing to do. Like, okay, we're gonna fix this user sign up flow or something. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna do it and whatnot. That's what I try, at least. Oh, you have baby hands? Oh, see, I have really big hands. I actually have a problem with this keyboard because it's too small. And I have like gorilla, like massive hands. I know Golang isn't your favorite. I know it's not your favorite. But I have to use Golang for this. I literally have to. Like, I mean, I don't have to, but the thing is, if I'd like to get it done this year, which I would like to get it done, I have to use Golang because the projects exist in Golang. Build pack is purely a Golang. What is it called? The thing that powers Docker, purely a Go thing. The Moby, Moby is purely a Go. a Kubernetes operator. That I could actually have done in Rust. That I could have actually done it. And I've been thinking about changing it to Rust because I actually think I like the Rust Kubernetes operator better. So maybe we convert that to Rust. The thing that powers Docker. No. We're talking about so build pack is this. Build pack is this, which I leverage, and then Docker Moby. What is the build kit? Build kit is the other thing that I use. Docker Moby build kit. I don't want the container, you goofball. Build kit. So I leverage these heavily, these two technologies heavily. And so it really makes sense to write these in Go. I actually like Rust better just from how it looks and the safety guarantees that it gives. And I hate Go package management. Let me tell you, if there's one thing that I hate, it's Go package management. But writing the Eddington itself. So for those of you who don't know what Eddington is, I wrote these these Twitch events that we've worked on this morning. These Twitch events, not this. Let's open recent. These Twitch alerts, and they're pretty cool. And I came to a problem, like, to deploy this properly actually takes a lot of work with going and creating a lot of infrastructure. And I didn't really want to do that. I just kind of wanted it to run and exist somewhere and be easy. And so that got me down the path of the null cloud. And I love educational content. And one thing that I realized people don't do a lot of is people don't build cloud providers. And I was like, what would be fun is to build an open source cloud provider live on stream that basically is the simple, easy cloud provider. You give it a project and it's auto infrastructure. That's the goal of it. And that's what Null Cloud is. We're making it on stream. I'm going to make videos about it so people can learn how to make a service architecture and a cloud provider at that. So we're already working on like network security, container security, and things like that. So I think it's a really cool project. And I think that it makes sense to do in Go, especially because I'm decent at Go. Yeah, it's AWS Lite. It's going to be AWS Lite, basically. But yeah, and so we also another thing, another chronically unwatched video that I do is how to make a database and the technologies that go into a database. I really like those because I feel like somebody that wants to get into databases, it's really difficult. There's a lot of, I'm going to say, tribal knowledge on how databases work. And, you know, there's a great book by Martin Klapman, which I don't have sitting beside me. I don't know why I have this advanced linear algebra book sitting beside me, but I don't have Martin Klapman's book. Anyways, it's a great one that kind of peels back a little bit of the corner. It puts it behind a fuzzy thing. It doesn't get into the details. And so I made my series there going into the details. And I love that because I think it's hard to find. And so I want to do that with this as well. We're going to go into the details. How do you do networking with untrusted workloads? How do you do workloads with untrusted workloads where they can run their own code in your infrastructure? I think that's fantastic. Anyways, that's what it is. The reason it's in Go and not Rust, or at least the parts of it, is because of the libraries that we have to use. These libraries don't exist other ways in other places. And so I got to use Go. That being said, it's right now a monolith, but my goal is to break it as a service architecture as it gets a little bit bigger with a certain thing. So there is a chance that we have a Rust service in the future. So I think that's cool. It's not written in Perl. I'm too stupid to write in Perl. Have you guys ever seen Perl? Have you guys seen Perl? I'm not smart enough to write Perl. Let me show you Perl. You think Rust syntax is hard. This is Perl. This actually looks fairly easy to read. You know what? Whenever I see Perl in production, it's this one line thing that's not readable like this. This is readable, but this is not the Perl I know and hate. You think Perl came out of Area 51? CPAN is the I personally, when I fall back to wanting people to not be able to read it, is I write in chicken. If you guys want to have a chicken language stream, we can. That's not what I wanted. The chicken software language. We'll write in chicken. You want to hear different types of chickens? How to speak chicken? Where are we going? All right, this is what you guys want. We're learning chicken. Everyone come here. Loud clucking. So if you hear me do loud clucking, I want your attention on screen, okay? But constant quiet clucking, I'm just letting you know everything's okay. Okay? So everything's okay. Cluck, 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 cluck. See? Soft clack. Everything's okay. Sharp clucks. What's a sharp cluck? I'm not sure that I understand this. I'm not sure. Again, quiet peeping, which is different than a clucking. Everything's okay. C# clucks. Don't insult C#. I have a large C# following. I don't know. I write Go and Rust, and I have a large C# following, so please don't insult C#. You insult Java, because as far as I know, I don't have a Java engineer. And if I do, they stay very quiet about being a Java engineer. Very... Uh-oh, a sharp balk noise. What's a I'm going to have to look these up. Because this is when we're about to eat. I'm going to have to look these up, what these actually sound like. Okay, I'm here, I'm big, I'm strong, notice me. Seems like a classic male thing to do. All right, anyways, I am done for today. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for sticking around. We actually have enough people. Let's actually raid somebody. Let's actually raid somebody, because there's enough people here. We should give somebody a raid. I appreciate everybody for coming out and hanging out. Next week, we will work on Eddington. So next weekend is going to be a primarily Go stream. I'm sorry. I actually feel like it's weird. I feel like you're almost pressured. There's like people that want to see a specific language. I'm like a variety streamer. If you go with Go and Go and Rust. And sometimes I do like machine learning. I do machine learning, so that's like Python, which we don't talk about a whole lot. All right, let's see. Are there any Rust streams out there? Here's a Go one. Next week, we learn how to speak Goose. All right. Let's see. Rust. I don't know that person. I don't know any of these. None of these are on my... Thanks, Togglebit, for all your input. Our Rust, I don't know any of these people in the software and game development, except for Anthony writes code. That's in Python. I'm not sure you guys want to see that. Who should we give a raid out to? Anthony is great. All right, we'll do Anthony. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later.